Hi, Mike Brantley, auctioneer. Discussing today when an auctioneer may want to consider what's called a sealed bid auction. And I'll say right here, I'm not sure a sealed bid auction is actually an auction, but nonetheless, sealed bid format. And there seems to be a clear answer when that's the prudent decision. And it largely points to when you've got a property, real or personal for that matter, that has maybe few interested bidders. It's kind of a special, unique property or very high priced where there aren't going to be that many players, and or there's a large disparity between what some people think it's worth and other people think it's worth. I'll give you an example. We've got a large office building on a 2-acre lot with parking, and we think it's worth about $1 million. We've got 4 interested bidders. 3 of them think it's worth somewhat less than $500,000, and 1 bidder thinks it's worth $1.2 million. Well, let's open that up for a live auction. The highest bid from those 3 or 4 people that were at $500,000 or less is $500,000. The $1.2 million so-called bidder bids $550,000, and we're done. Can't get him to 1.2, can't get him to $1 million, can't get him past 550 because those other bidders, there's no contention below his maximum bid. If we got 100 bidders and there's consensus as to the value, that's a great auction. Anytime there's lots of bidders and lots of common thought as to value between bidders, or bidders using other bidders to determine value in some sense, auctions work extremely well. But when you only have a few bidders or not a lot of consensus as to what this property, real or personal, is worth, sometimes a sealed bid is a better strategy. We're trying to get all we can for our seller. We say auctions are open price discovery, and interestingly enough, auctions benefit from open price discovery and comparative valuation going on between participants in a live auction or an online auction for that matter. But the sealed bid format actually capitalizes on the lack of disclosure, the lack of openness. Because see, the $1 million bidder submits a sealed bid for $1.1 million, thinking, well, I have to outbid these other guys and I don't know what they're going to pay. Well, they're not going to pay anywhere near $1.1 million, but he submits a bid of $1.1 million to block out what he doesn't know, which is there aren't any other bidders right behind him. So many auctioneers around the United States, around the world, have used sealed bids successfully. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. You're an auctioneer and you sit down with a seller and you say, you know what, I think this is a property that there's not consensus as to the value, and or there just aren't going to be a lot of bidders. And if you want to go ahead with some sort of competitive offering or bidding process to establish price, I think a sealed bid format would be appropriate. And why would you say that? Because it is appropriate. It is appropriate. And equally, it is not appropriate to open it up and end up at, in our example here, at $550,000 with somebody that was willing to pay 1.2. Mike Brantley, auctioneer. Pleasure to be with you today. Other videos on this same page, others forthcoming. Have a great day. Stay safe.